So hello guys, and welcome to F1 2019 career mode, and we are here for the 5th race of the season in the Spanish Grand Prix, and our goals for this race were not said yet, but developments completed. We got those ones from Baku after the Aussie is going to be more durable now, and the front wing is more upgraded. So, and then weather forecast, according to Jeff, we have a wet qualifying but a dry race, like a sunny race but a wet quali. So let's see how what a wet quali will bring us. After the gearbox failure in the last race in Baku, we are surely going to change the gearbox, and we do, so that will give us a penalty, a grid penalty for Spanish Grand Prix wherever we qualify in Spain, where we will be, but 5 places lower. So we're gonna get a new race gearbox, that is, vent gearbox, and we're gonna be applied a penalty for buying. So here we go then. So we are here in Spain for the next race of the season, and according to Carl, that was from last race, of course, the report from last race from Carl saying that he is overall disappointed with how Baku went, and Baku wasn't the greatest race because we retired with the gearbox issues that we had. They actually ended up failing at one point, so I thought, why not retire? Because, like, saving everything. So our goals for this is to complete 2 clean races, and then we get 500 resource points. That'd be nice. So the preview right now, we have Leclerc leading the championship and Ferrari leading the constructors. And yeah, like I said, the developments have been completed. That was already shown. The ICE has been upgraded, more durability. The front wing main plane is also done. And the weather forecast has been shown already, with Jeff saying that the race is dry, but the quali is wet. So it's going to be heavy rain at the beginning and light rain towards the end of the quali. It says it's going to dry out, but quali is 20 minutes, or 18 minutes actually. So I don't think it's going to dry out in 18 minutes if it's like that long of rain. So let's head to practice, and the practice 1 results. Valtteri Bottas went quickest by 1/10 on the soft tyres from mediums of Vettel, but we were P16 ahead of our teammate Albon in 17th. So we were on the mediums for practice 1, so it's pretty interesting there. So practice 1, after our resource points, we passed both practice programs. We also perfected them, and we're going to get a total of, okay, let's see, we're going to get a total of 291 for the first practice session in Barcelona, and we have a total of 2,844. The reputation has gone up with every team on the grid except for my own team. So now heading to practice 2, and how did practice 2 go? Well, here you go. Practice 2 was wet. Practice 2 was a wet session, so I used that as practice for qualifying, and we ended up 13th, and Hamilton was quickest. But we ended up 13th, and Albon 16th. So we just used practice 2 as a practice for the qualifying, which is wet. 121 resource points for that, with 2,965 total. And our reputation's gone down only with Ferrari there, so that's quite interesting. As we move on to the 3rd practice session, and before we go on to the 3rd practice session, there we go, that's confirmed that we do have a 5-place grid penalty for changing the gearbox. We do have a 5-place grid penalty there, so that's pretty interesting. So Hamilton's gone quickest, the Mercedes 1-2 once again, and Alex Albon's 15th, and we are 16th, with a 5-place grid penalty for the qualifying session. So here we go. After practice 3, our resource points We perfected both the practice programs. And we got a total of 115, making us go to 3,080 resource points there. So, yeah, so the reputation's still gone down, but we've moved up in the respect level. We have moved up in the rookie to veteran thing, whatever that is. So Emma's wishing us good luck. Thanks for that. Jeff is reminding us once again of the weather. Like, I've seen that 3 times already. This is the 3rd time, so I know already that's a wet collie. So yeah, Jeff's just giving us advice on the track. Yep, I basically know most of that. And now we are going to upgrade a bit of our aerodynamics once again, and we're going to upgrade the diffuser. I think, yep, the diffuser, redesigned layout. So, after the upgrade, let's head to quali now in Spain.
You join us today at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya for what's bound to be a really hectic qualifying as the teams compete to set the best lap times. So, could be a tasty one today then, Ants. We've got all the ingredients, that's for sure. Treacherous conditions, an ever-changing racetrack, and 1 or 2 cars just behind the pace setters who maybe, just maybe, fancy a bit of an upset after a good performance from them in free practice.
And the question has to be, of course, what is that circuit going to look like in 10 to 15 minutes from now? If you think the rain's going to get worse, then you have to be straight out when the lights go green to find whatever grip you can. But if it eases off, then you're better off waiting, saving the tyres, and going out at the perfect moment. The other thing that comes with these conditions? Traffic, and the lack of visibility that comes from sitting in the spray. It's going to be a constant problem, and I expect to see a lot of frustrated drivers with ruined laps out there today.
So here we are in qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix, and we are here in a wet session. We are on the intermediates right now, and let's hope we can get through this session quickly. So here we go on our first run on the inters. You can see that it is heavy rain, but it's going on to the intermediates quite interestingly there. So it's still on the intermediates. It's not wet enough for the wet tyres, the full wet tyres. So that's something. As we come across the line with a 133.3, going us in 10th place, 133.313 with 12 minutes to go. And this is now our final run of the session. We'll just skip straight to it. As we head onto the straight, coming into pit straight, starting our lap. We are currently in 20th after the last lap we did, first lap, so the track has definitely dried up, and we will improve on the lap now. Coming into turn 1, braking down to 3rd gear, already gained a 10th, but then lost about half a 10th as well, then lost another 10th through there. It's now through turn 3, it's not flat out in the wet. It's now coming through into turn 4, braking down to 4th gear, and then going down to 3rd gear for more, I don't know what it's called, but I think it's like steering better or something, like, or to get through the corner more. One of my friends was saying what it was, but I forgot now. Half a second up on our time now as we go into turn 7, 4th gear. As now into turn 9, which is a bit of a lift in the dry, but in the wet it's a braking down to 5th. As now here we go onto the short straight, coming into the hairpin, braking all the way down to 2nd, and we are 1.6 seconds up on our time as we come into turn 11, the last sector of this Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Is now coming into turn 13, or we're running a bit wide there. We lost a bit of time into the chicane, which is the replacement for that other skate road there, which is the original layout of Spain. So come into the final corner, flat out through there. So come across the line with a 131.558, and we go into 7th place there. So 7th place is pretty decent. If we stayed in 7th, we'll be starting P12. So yeah, that's P12 is alright, I guess. Now coming onto the straight and across the line, do we stay in 7th or do we go down further? No, we actually get 16th. So a lot of people must have improved because we are down into 16th.
Tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look.
With us being in 16th, we start 20th because there's 4 places.
With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid line up for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
So we actually start last for this race. Lewis Hamilton on pole from Valtteri Bottas and Sebastian Vettel, then Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, then Pierre Gasly, then Devin Butler, Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hulkenberg, Lucas Weber at the top 10. Daniel Ricciardo in 11th. And then we were in 16th and we start last for the race because of our 5-place grip penalty. We are losing the rivalry right now versus Lucas Weber, but we are leading it versus our teammate Alex Albon. But we failed to out-qualify Albon because Albon was in 15th, I think. Or was he 14th? I don't even know where he was, but I think he was ahead of us. He out-qualified us. We get 99 business points from quali. And our reputation goes up somehow. Only with Williams though, which is quite interesting as well.
So, unfortunately, we've picked up some grid penalties and we'll be starting further back than you expect. As for how bad it is, that'll depend on what the other drivers get.
Jeff is commenting on how bad... Jeff is commenting on the grid penalties, and depending on how bad it is, it's like depending on what other drivers get, but I'm pretty sure that we are the only driver who has some kind of penalty, grid penalty. So let's head to the race now here in Spain.
What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91, or maybe we'll have a more strategic race here on a track where overtaking can be difficult. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down to turn 1 of this 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. So I should probably start by asking you about Lucas Weber. They're still relatively new to a sport which does have a high learning curve and, of course, little tolerance for mistakes.
That's right, it is a difficult environment to come into. In junior categories, you're competing against drivers with similar levels of experience. But some of these guys in Formula 1 have been there for over a decade. But I have to say, in this case, it's so far so good.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Gasly, Butler, Magnussen, Hulkenberg and Lucas Weber, Ricciardo, Grosjean, Sergio Perez and Albon, Norris, Raikkonen, Lance Stroll and George Russell, Kubica and Johansson. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
So Jeff is saying to keep it clean into turn 1, which is what we should do always. So here we are on the grid, we're going for the one-stop medium to hard. As is everyone, to be honest. I think every one of the AI is on the mediums and going to the hards. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And as we are starting last, we have to wait for everyone to go in the formation lap, including 2 Williams. We are behind the 2 Williams once again, just like in China and Baku. We started last in China, and we started last in Baku. Well, basically last, probably 19th actually. I remember making a comeback in China from 19th on the grid, but this is 20th, so let's see what we can do. Can we repeat our performance from China, going from the back into the points? That was actually from 19th to 9th in China. least from 20th to whatever position we get. And I have no idea why I'm overtaking drivers. Because I'm at the back of the field. And we're just doing some drifts and slides to just warm up. This is a way to warm up our tyres, to be honest. As we head out onto the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix round 5 of the F1 2019 career mode, the Circuit of Barcelona-Catalunya. Here we go. What can we do from the back of the grid once again? We are starting for the 3rd race in a row from the back of the grid. We're starting the midfield in Bahrain and in Australia. Let's see what can we do in the Spanish Grand Prix. It is now away we go here in Spain. And it's a pretty decent start from us, but we are falling behind the 2 Williams. But down towards turn 1, what can we do? And we are still last as we head down towards turn 1. What can we do up the inside of Kubica? Are we going to get this move done already? Move up 1 position? Not quite. We don't quite get past Robert Kubica. It's now through turn 3. And now on the inside, better traction down towards turn 4. Are we going to get the move on Kubica through to turn 4? We get up into 19th place. We gain 1 position on the first lap so far. Now the next one is the other Williams of George Russell. We're looking up the inside of him as well. He's not giving us much space there. But now coming through into turn 6 and into turn 7. Jeff says to us that it's a strong start, so I think it was a pretty strong start, but we only gained 1 position. So it says a little bit not that good. Go understeering through turn 9. That's a very bad corner for Dirty Air. As we go up the inside into the hairpin on George Russell and on Kimi Räikkönen in the Alpha, and we get past them both. We're up into 17th place in the Spanish Grand Prix so far. As now onto the straight, end of lap 1 of the Spanish Grand Prix. Starting lap 2, and we do not have DRS quite yet, so we're going to use overtake on the ERS. We're going to go in the slipstream of the racing point of Stroll. Coming down towards turn 1, and we're going to go to the outside, not quite. We don't quite go to the outside of Lance Stroll. But now into turn 2 and into turn 3, we're going to get some great traction. Raikkonen's on the inside of us, but we cut him off. We close it, shut the door on him. As now into turn 4, are we going to get the racing point of Lance Stroll coming down towards the next corner? So we are starting lap 2 of this Spanish Grand Prix. And we did pass Stroll in the end, but at the hairpin. I was just going to say that, but we didn't show it because the engine failed, I guess. So lap 5, we start lap 5, we're behind our teammate Alex Albon, and then there's a huge fight up ahead. There's a lock-up for the McLaren of Lando Norris with Sergio Perez, and Alex Albon is right behind these two as well. Sergio Perez is having a good fight with Lando Norris. As we head down towards turn 4, lap 5 of the Spanish Grand Prix, we're up into 16th in 5 laps. So we've gained at least 1 position in each lap so far. As now we are right behind Albon. Are we going to get the position? Here we go onto the straight now, lap 5 of the Spanish Grand Prix, starting lap 6. And we've got the DRS on Albon, and so Albon also has DRS on the car ahead of him. But he is too far back, so are we going to get the move on Alex Albon? He's defending the inside line. We're going to go to the outside into turn 1. We're going to go around the outside at turn 1, and we're going to get the move on Alex Albon there into 15th position. So a great move from us. So our comeback is starting, and 15th place is our position there on the outside of Alex Albon. What a move that was on our teammate. He decided not to fight us in the end there because he knows that I'm beating him in the championship. He knows that I've just been promoted to first driver. That's just before Baku, I think it was. I was promoted to first driver. It's now starting lap 7 of the Spanish Grand Prix. We don't improve on our time. But here we go. Alex Albon is now got the DRS, and he's going to go to the outside. Well, we're defending the inside. He's going to go to the outside into turn 1, and we hold on to P15 there. So here we go into turn 3, and Albon is trying to fight us. I don't know why me and him are fighting. Toro Rosso's teammates. We should be teammates. We should work together. Here we go into turn 5, and now we are right behind. 2 laps later, Lando Norris, lap 9 of 33. As now into the chicane, Lando Norris, I saw, has a bit of front wing damage. So we are going to gain advantage of this, I reckon. Let's see, Lando Norris very slow on the straight in that Renault engine, and we're going to go speeding past him on the inside, and we get him into 14th position. An easy move for DRS. And we move up into 14th position. Next up is Grosjean in the Haas. The black and gold Haas, Rich Energy Haas sponsor. Which I actually find questionable, that sponsor. I don't know why, it's just like, I've never seen an energy drink by them anywhere, nor have I heard of them. Like, that's the one brand I've never heard of in F1 at the moment, like of the current sponsors. Anyway, here we go, starting lap 12 of this Spanish Grand Prix, and here we go, again the slipstream on Romain Grosjean, coming down towards turn 1, and we're going to go absolutely shoot past him. Well, not quite actually, before the braking zone though, we get past the Haas of Romain Grosjean into 13th, so this is a nice overtaking show from us so far. Let's check the replay of our move there on Romain Grosjean. Let's see what it looked like on the replay. Yeah, it was pretty speedy, and it was just before turn 1 where we got him, so it was like pulling out and then going around him and then going, just getting the move done. So you can see behind that our teammate Albon is getting involved in a battle with one of the Alphas, so I think it's Raikkonen behind. As now on lap 14 we go into the pits for a change of tyres. We're going to go to the hard tyres from the mediums. This will be our one-stop strategy. We're going to go all the way to the end. That's 29 laps on the hard tyres. So 14 to 33. Or is it 19 laps? I think it's 19 laps. Yes. Yes, 19 laps. So we exit the pits on the hard tyres. And we come out in last place, most likely. Actually, I don't think we do, because the two Williams, yeah, there's a Williams there, they're both Williams of mine, so I think we're in third last at the moment after that pit stop. So, it is something. So, we go into turn 4, and we are indeed in 17th. So there's actually someone else behind. There's two Williams, and then there's the Racing Point. So yeah, lap 13 is actually when we pitted, so we got 20 laps on these set of tyres. 13th when we pitted, now it's lap 14. Trying to do 20 laps to the end on these tyres. Definitely possible. Definitely possible, because the hard tyres don't have that much wear. And now let's see. Where can we get out in front of this queue? We're going to get out ahead of Lucas Weber. That is our main rival. As now Sergio Perez is going to go get him around the outside as well. So we are going to get a nice position. Not past the Racing Point of Sergio Perez. That's an undercut. That means we've got another position in the effective race order, because Perez was in front of us after we passed Romain Grosjean, so that's something there. So Ricciardo is ahead of us in the Renault, Daniel Ricciardo ahead of us in the yellow Renault. Now into the chicane now. Sorry, so sorry. Onto the pit straight now. And we are chasing down the Renault of Daniel Ricciardo, but now we've got ahead of a couple of drivers. But now there's Nico Hulkenberg, the other Renault, coming out ahead of his teammate. So the Renaults are now going to battle for position, but Ricciardo is on 1 lap older tyres. But on warmer tyres, Hulkenberg's just come out on cold tyres. So let's see how this is going to go. I wonder how this is going to go. So into turn 5, lap 16 of 33, and we are currently in 11th place, so we are 1 position away from the points finish from the back of the grid, so we are going for the points once again from 20th, so hopefully this works out. As we come into the chicane, lap 17 of the Spanish Grand Prix, and we go onto the DRS straight. Let's see, can Ricciardo make a move on his teammate Nico Hulkenberg? Here we go, DRS is available. Hulkenberg defends the inside, Ricciardo goes to the outside. into turn 1. And the Renaults are side by side through turn 2 and into turn 3. They're still side by side into turn 3. But Ricciardo gets ahead of Nico Hulkenberg for now. But into turn 4, Hulkenberg's back on the inside. Into turn 4. It's now into turn 5. They're still side by side through into turn 5. And we are saving our rest behind them because we're not going to go for an overtake. We're just watching them battle. Now side by side through into the next left-hander. Ricciardo is the inside line, but they're still side by side coming into the next flat-out corner of turn 9. And Hulkenberg holds on. But now Ricciardo is going to get him back on the outside. We're going to go back on the inside of both of them here into the hairpin. And we're going to get into P9, passing both the Renault cars there. What a move that was. What a move. Let's check the replay. We were watching the Renaults battle all the way to the second sector side by side. Ricciardo went to the inside of his teammate, and we went up the inside of both the Renault cars. That is an epic move. And we move up into 9th place. Let's see the view from the racing point of Sergio Perez. Here we go. Ricciardo went to the inside and we went past both of them into the hairpin. Ricciardo and Hulkenberg still side by side, but Hulkenberg held on to the place there. Let's see from Ricciardo's point of view with the pink helmet. So Ricciardo went to the outside, and then we see me going up the inside of both the Renaults. That is one nice move from us. Lap 23 of the Spanish Grand Prix, and Robert Kubica is out of this race. He was at the back of the grid. He was last place at the back of the grid. There's his teammate George Russell going past, and Kubica has just slowed down. He has slowed down just suddenly, I guess. Probably some kind of mechanical problem. And he is going to pull over to the side of the track on the straight. There goes the racing point and the Ferrari. So that Ferrari is currently in the lead of the race. It's been lapped. And here we go, lap 25 of 33 here in Spain. This is the Haas of Kevin Magnussen behind the McLaren of Devin Butler right now. And Magnussen goes to the inside of Butler, coming into turn 1. Easy move with DRS, and that is the move done for Butler. This is the battle, 7th place. And if they keep battling, we could catch both of these guys. We are currently in 9th place after the double overtake on the Renaults. And on lap 26, we have 7 laps to go. If you include this lap, we have 8 laps to go. So can we catch these two who are battling? Devin Butler and Kevin Magnussen currently battling right now. If they keep battling, we can catch up to these two and get 7th. Butler is coming back at the Haas of Magnussen, and he's got that done as well into turn 1. Butler's got that done, so they keep on battling through, and we are still catching them. We can even see my car from their view. So lap 29 and now lap 30. We have 4 laps to go here in Spain. We are 2 seconds behind Kevin Butler and Magnussen. But now Butler's coming back to the outside of Magnussen. They're side by side through turn 1. Is this going to go to the move for Devin Butler? I think it is. He's got the move done there. So around the outside of turn 3. So if they keep on battling, we're catching them, and we are indeed catching them because of their battle. So from last place, 20th, we are in 9th right now, and we have caught right up to the back of these two battling for 7th place. Lap 31 of 33 here in the Circuit of Barcelona-Catalunya. When you're going for P7 from the back of the grid on 20th after our grid penalty, the gearbox penalty that we got. Butler comes back at Magnussen, and he locks up into turn 1. So Magnussen is coming back at him. They're side by side into turn 3. Magnussen's on the inside line, but now he's slowing down, and that gives us an opportunity on the inside of Magnussen into turn 4, and we are going to get that place. We go on the inside of Magnussen in the Haas, and we move up into 8th place. So, that is a very nice... He's made a mistake there, and we get past the Haas of Magnussen into P8. That is a big mistake from the Haas of Magnussen there, and we get past him. So so let me repeat again. From last place, 20th on the grid, after our gearbox penalty, after our gearbox failed last race in Baku, we are coming from 20th, and we are about to take 7th place in this race as we start the last lap of the Spanish Grand Prix, round 5 of the season. We're getting closer to Butler as we come down towards turn 1. We're going to the inside of Devon Butler, and we get past the McLaren of Devon Butler, and we get up into 7th place. From 20th on the grid, we have made it up to 7th place. So we have made an epic comeback once again. We went from 19th to 9th in China, and we've gone from 20th to 7th in Spain. So a very nice comeback from us there. We go to the inside of Devon Butler, an epic move from us there into 7th place. So this has been a nice comeback once again. I don't think we're going to catch 6th place, surely not. It's the last lap, so I don't think we can catch the next car. But anyway, we are going to, well, the next car is a Red Bull, and he's already finished the race, so we definitely won't catch. So on the last lap of this Spanish Grand Prix, and into the chicane we go, and we're going to finish in 7th position after an epic comeback from the back of the grid. We have finished in P7, so we've got 6 points to our championship, and Jeff is very happy with that one. 7th place here in Spain after the heartbreaking, after the bad result in Baku. We were forced to retire from the race after our gearbox failed on us and made us go out of the points. We were retiring the car and saved the gearbox and the engine. Ferrari wins yet another race, 5 in a row for Ferrari, and there is Kevin Magnussen who finishes 9th after we overtook Magnussen and Butler. So 5 in a row for Ferrari. Leclerc has won 2, and I think Vettel has won 3, including this one. So Sebastian Vettel wins this race. Charles Leclerc in 2nd, and Lewis Hamilton gets 3rd. So Hamilton started on pole, don't forget, and he's got 3rd. So Ferrari are a force to be reckoned with in this season. They are unstoppable right now. They have won every race so far this season. Sebastian Vettel wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc in 2nd, 6.5 seconds behind. Then Lewis Hamilton in 3rd. Then Max Verstappen in 4th with the fastest lap. Then Valtteri Bottas in 5th. Then Pierre Gasly. Then me in 7th from 20th on the grid. Devon Butler in 8th. Then Kevin Magnussen 9th. Sergio Perez 10th. Nico Hulkenberg in 11th. Then Grosjean 12th. Ricciardo in 13th. Raikkonen 14th. Albon in 15th, a mediocre performance from him. Lando Norris in 16th, and Lucas Weber, George Russell, Lance Stroll, and the only DNF of the race was Robert Kubica in the Williams after stopping on the side of the track on the pit straight. And the driver's standings, Charles Leclerc still leads by 18 points, Vettel in 2nd, then Max Verstappen 3rd, Lucas Weber drops down to 4th, then Hamilton 5th, then Bottas 6th, then Perez 7th, Magnussen 8th, and Gasly 9th, Hulkenberg 10th, Grosjean 11th, then me in 12th, then Butler, then Russell, then Norris, then Kubica, Ricciardo, Albon, Stroll, and Kimi Raikkonen. Stroll and Raikkonen, the only ones that not score points. Ferrari have a massive lead in the standings, 69-point advantage. Ferrari have from Mercedes, then Red Bull, then Haas in 4th, and Alpha in 5th, then Racing Point in 6th, then Renault in 7th, Toro Rosso move up to 8th, then McLaren in 9th, then Williams in 10th.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
Yes, Claire, you're right. I really did cut my way through the field today. My strategy was that the aero package that was upgraded after Baku. The aero package gave us better straight line speed on the straights, and we could speed past people on the straight very well. So the aero package was very, very nice, and it felt good during the race. So it was
safe to
very
say you're smashing
good.
everyone's
I'd say it's the best in the field, though. Exceeding people's expectations, not so much in the last race, but it's a team sport, so
weren't far apart by the
yeah.
end of the race. How evenly matched were you?
I think me and Devon Butler are pretty evenly matched, but I think he's a skilled driver, but he doesn't have my team in car. So
Appreciate your time.
thanks for that, Claire. But yeah, he doesn't have the good car that I have, and the good performance. He's a good driver though, Devin Butler, not gonna lie. And we are leading the rivalry once again with Alex Albon, but we're losing with Lucas Faber, so not good. We need to beat Lucas Faber in the next races. Like Monaco is next, and Canada, and France. We need to beat Lucas Faber in those races. We got 422 resource points. That's pretty decent. And going back to 3,000. And our rep is massively increased after the interviews with Clay just then. So, and rookie status going further and further to the middle. I hope to go to the middle at some point.
Great work. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up.
Thanks, Emma, for that. Yeah, so that's exactly the kind of result we needed. 7th place. Their goal is usually like midfield, let's say, out of the points, like 14th maybe is their goals for the race in general. We have an invitational event that we'll be doing in the next race episode. So yeah, Carl says good work on hitting your targets, but he says also that there's even more available in the car. And there's an invitational event as well that we'll be doing in the next race episode in Monaco. And there's a press clipping from Devin Butler's interview with Claire. So he says that my recent performance has been great, but I think of being too quick to underestimate my own driving skill. Forget I've had a lot of time on the track with my old rivals, so he knows how that they race, so that's interesting, that one. So Devin Butler's being a little bit cocky as always. So yeah, there's our results. 10th in Australia after getting the penalty. Then 6th in Bahrain, that's our best result so far. Then 9th in China. Then DNF in Baku. Then 7th in Spain. So hopefully you enjoyed that. That was a pretty good comeback from the back of the grid in Spain. And the next race is the very tight and tricky straights in Monaco. So hope to see you then, and goodbye.